when you don't really think about that big goal, you just think, well, I'm just keep doing what I'm doing. And there's no way I can do what I'm doing and still get to that 20 million. Okay, if I needed to get to 20 million, I'd probably need about all right, my friends, the Ultimate OD podcast. Today we are talking about a sales funnel. Now, it's a little altered for us because we have qualified leads coming in on a daily basis. But what we're doing with those leads, with the exams, with the patients, is probably not as refined as it could be. I have 8 steps that we need to implement in our offices, in our practices, in our quote unquote sales funnels to make us more effective, more efficient, to provide better patient care, to make our practices grow. These are the 8 steps you need to know. This is the Ultimate OD Podcast. Here we go. All right, my friends, the Ultimate OD Podcast. Hey, if you like podcasts, I'm not one to offer many other podcasts, but I was a guest on the Power Hour a week or two ago. A really fun conversation, very honest and open. If you want to check that out, take a look. I think it was really really fun. I like that podcast. So here's the thing. I love dry eye. I love ocular surface disease. It's what I enjoy doing. I could talk about it for hours, could nerd out on it, geek out on it. Really love the direction my office is going. I made a conscious decision probably after AOA last year that I'm going to really grow the Rejuvenation Dry Eye Center, RDEC. Okay? Now, one of the reasons why it's been so cool and so fun to do is my associate in the office, just as crazy as I am and loves ocular surface anterior seg, and literally we just talk about it all the time. I've surrounded myself with great companies, Luminous, Enmode, Tixel, that have offered a great deal of support. Honestly, Tixel, the best. Enmode, doing really well. Luminous could be a little better. All right, just honest to goodness, my experience at this point. But that being said, they have resources where they can connect you with people, other doctors that do what you want to do. And I encourage you, as much as humanly possible, to find people that love to practice the way you love to practice. Iron sharpens iron. Being around these other doctors, I give them my number, tell them to text me anytime. Let's collaborate. I don't care if you are just starting. I'm going to learn something from you. I want to hear what you're doing, how you're viewing the world, because I need perspective. And when I'm around these other doctors, I have so much stinking juice, so much energy. I love it. It makes me want to be better. And again, I've talked about my P3 group. If you're interested in P3, send me a message. I'll connect you with those people. They're awesome. And I'm going to meet with them in November. And I'm like, I have got to bring it. I cannot go into that meeting and not be buttoned up, be dialed in, be giving it my all. Right? I love accountability. I love just other doctors that are trying to go to that next level. And my big question right now is, where do I want to go from here? All right. Right now, I mean, if I just wanted to just double what I want to do, I've kind of got to that point. I'm building the dry eye practice. I'm adding an associate, a second associate. And I think we can get my goal for where my current location, like 3 million gross. I think we could do that. Okay. That's kind of where I want to get to, but that's not a huge goal in terms of like really pushing the limits, right? To do that, I think I just keep doing what I'm doing, right? I'm trying to get something here that is huge, right? Big, blow it up, go. And I call that what's your impossible goal? Like, it doesn't have to be actually attainable in theory, but what's an impossible goal? And there's a lot of things I think about. I've said this in the past, 10 million in 10 years. I want RDEC to be a standalone referral center that's getting nothing but referrals for dry eye anterior segment from all across, greater Grand Rapids, all of West Michigan, owning that, right? Do I want to do more of those? Do I want to have 5 practices? Do I want to be an expert in my field where people come to see me at my clinic, and then the other 3 days a week I'm lecturing, talking to other places, doing that stuff? And it's so hard for me to think about. I really, if I said to you, what's a goal that you think is impossible, and then say you want to do that impossible goal, and I'm going to put something out there that's just crazy big, for the example of what I'm talking about. So what if I said in 2 years I want to do 20 million in revenue? Okay, not only is that an impossible, like 20 million, but in 2 years. And I've done this before, and it was really hard, but I've really, it honestly has been consuming me to think about. And I said, okay, what would I have to do that? And the goal is, when you don't really think about that big goal, you just think, well, I'm just keep doing what I'm doing. And there's no way I can do what I'm doing and still get to that 20 million. Okay, if I needed to get to 20 million, I'd probably need about, we'll call it 10 offices. Okay, how do I get 10 offices? Well, I got to start talking to a bunch of other places, see how I can get that. I need other doctors. All right, but you see what I did right there? 2 things, 2 actionable steps is I need to start talking to people that are selling offices. All right, that's an arena that I wouldn't necessarily have done if I was just trying to get to 3 million, right? Okay, I need to talk to other. Okay, I have to reach out and open that web. Start talking to other people. Really get that. If I'm going to have 10 offices, I need other doctors, right? See how that, when you see that, what would need to be done? Like, don't say if it's feasible, if it can even be done. But if you were to do that, what can be done? All right. And one of the things, I don't know if it's an impossible goal, but I want to grow RDEC. I want to grow my dry eye clinic. So one of the things that I said, if I was just doing nothing but dry eye, then that's just like, you need a sales funnel, right? That's what they all tell. What's your funnel? If you go to any marketing person, listen to a marketing podcast, what's your funnel? How do you do this, etc., right? Well, I'm going to apply that in a dry eye context, okay? And give you perspective. And then, like I said, I don't know if this is a big thing, but if I was doing nothing else and I wanted those patients, this is what I do. Step 1, all right, I think I have 8 steps on here, okay? Step 1 in this process, and again, we can apply this to our own practices, anything you want to do, even if it's just growing your business in primary care, these steps apply, okay? But you have to create, well, before you even create your awareness, you have to know your market and know what you offer, right? What is the demographic? What is the population? Say you're in Greenville, Michigan, and every single patient you see is 50 and older. Medicare is a high insurance and a lot of disease. Probably not the best place to start a myopia management practice. Just a guess, right? What is your demographic? Who are the patients you are seeing? And if you're in that area and you're dead set on myopia management, you need to target that demographic, the people that you want to see, right? Anything you're doing right now, probably wrong. What would you do differently? So know that, number 1, and know what you offer. So I'll use me. I have a market, probably 30 to 60-year-old patients are my bread and butter. My average patient age, 25 to 45. So I'm in a sweet spot. I have a little bit out on the older side, the people that are going to start doing stuff about dry eye, the 45 to 60, but I'm fringing there. I'm in there. What I've realized is those younger demographic have dry eye. I just have not been a good doctor at educating them on what they can do to help their condition, their situation. Right? I was looking for home runs. Sometimes you got to hit singles. Okay? Number 2, create awareness. One of the biggest things that has driven awareness to my office is if you drive by the front, you see Family Vision Optical, but you also see a big sign that says Rejuvenation Dry Eye Center. I made a separate website for Rejuvenation Dry Eye Center. I make a ton of videos for Rejuvenation Dry Eye Center or Dry Eye. The sign costs money, but it's really not, it's not like I'm paying for ads or anything like that per se. It's putting it out there. This is what we do. You'd be surprised how many people have come in because they saw the sign, or they saw a video, they saw the website, and now they're here. Create awareness. One of the things that I'm really working on, don't judge it yet. We have websites and they click on our dry eye stuff and know what we do? Educate them about their symptoms and signs of dry eye. Now, I get they're going to put that on there for SEO. They want it to be found, but that's kind of stupid. Let me tell you why. If they're there, they know they have symptoms and signs. We don't need to tell them what they're already experiencing. We need to tell them what makes us different, how we treat their problems, how we have answers or we have solutions to their problems. You're feeling this? Well, great. I have something that fixes this. Tell them what you do and how you do it and how it's going to help them. Too often, it's just a textbook on dry eye or meibomian gland dysfunction. Or you give a broad overview of what Tixel does, or what RF does, or IPL does, right? How is it going to help their condition? By reducing inflammation, you'll have less redness. The glands will express better. You'll have more stable tear film. Your eyes and vision will be better, less red. Tell them how you solve the problem. Don't just make it a regurgitation of what they already know. Okay? Just a little food for thought there. But create awareness. Then you have to get interest. Okay? How do you gauge interest? We are unique in terms of eye care because they are booking appointments with us on the daily. They have an interest in eye health some way, shape, or form. You have to tell them from a doctor's perspective why this is an issue. Last episode, I talked about that. We have it so easy because they're already coming in knowing they have eyes and they want them examined. Other ways to do that, though. You can have self-tests. You can have them schedule a call, schedule a Zoom call, have a webinar, have a link to a video, right? Get interest in what you are selling, what you are doing, the treatments that you offer. Newsletters and brochures, don't call them, those are not lead magnets, right? These have to lead you to a landing page. Like, you take a self-test, you scored this, click here, this is the action you need to take. Brochures, newsletters are more awareness driven. They're not lead magnets, right? They're not getting you qualified leads for the problem you're trying to treat. Now, again, we get tons of leads, appointments. How can they be more qualified? You're specifically testing them for the thing you want to solve. They're self-selecting, self-qualifying themselves for the treatment, right? Make those things happen. Once you do that lead magnet, you generate a commitment so that they're actually making a phone call with you. You can do a Zoom call consultation. You have free consultations at your office. I don't like free consultations. LASIK does that all the time. Maybe I should do free consults. LASIK's doing that. That's their business model. Maybe something to learn. I tend to, with my myopia management patients, $45 consult fee. If they sign up, that $45 goes towards their treatment, right? I want them to have skin in the game, though. Otherwise, I was getting a lot of no-shows because it was free. They didn't value it, right? Maybe make the barrier lower. For dry eye, it's a medical condition. What's your medical insurance? They have a $35 copay. Kind of the same thing, right? Lower the barrier to entry. Get them to commit. And then give them value, right? When they come in, you're not selling them. You're solving the problem. Remember, you're not completely solving it. You're giving them a bite, a morsel of what you have to offer so they want to come in and work with you. You have to be so excited, enthusiastic, ready to go that they're comparing you. They're collecting information and they're like, this dude is dialed in. He has all the answers. I want to work with him. That's the guy I want. Not the guy that's doing 8 million other things. This guy's working on what I need him to fix, right? have energy, give them value. Then, once you get them to actually commit, right? So I wouldn't say this is an actual exam. For me, they come in for an exam, and then we do a dry eye consult. I call it TFL, tear film and lid evaluation, right? Because dry eye, I don't have dry eye. Yeah, I'm going to look at your tear film and lids, make sure those are all lined up. Just how I word it tends to create a better connection for the patient of what we're doing. Have a core offer. Now, again, your core offer may be the only thing you have in your office. You only have a tear care. You only have an IPL. Fine. Right? But what is your core offer? LASIK people, LASIK is their core offer. They come in for LASIK, they have thin corneas. We can't do LASIK, we can do PRK. Oh, you have alternatives, right? So you have your core, and then you have alternatives. That's the problem with IPL. Like, there's a lot of things that make it so you can't do IPL. They're out in the sun a ton. Dark skins, Fitzpatrick 5 or higher. They're taking Accutane, certain medications. I've expanded my menu. If they don't qualify for IPL, IPL is great because a lot of people are aware of it. RF tends to have a lot of people knowing about it. Tixel, brand new, love it. If you guys are interested in anything to know about Tixel, send me a message. I'll connect you with people. I love it because it's colorblind. It treats meibomian gland dysfunction. It's FDA approved. It's quick. RF takes a long time. Tixel, 3 treatments, 2 minutes each. Can fix the MGD. There's avenues beyond just that as well. Okay? But IPL isn't the best solution for you, but I have Tixel. I have RF. I have autologous serum. I have amniotic membranes. You get them in there and then use your expertise. Yeah, the core offer isn't there, but we have this. But they are coming in with the idea that they're going to do LASIK. If you're listening on the podcast, I have finger quotes, LASIK. Right? They're going to do IPL. No, we're going to treat you. You're thinking it might be this, but do you qualify? Is that the best possible treatment for you? So again, that goes back to knowing your menu, but have your core offer, then have add-ons, alternatives. We're doing, Tixel for your dry eyes. Do you want a full facial for that? We're already there. It's going to help the fine lines and wrinkles, have more collagen, even out your skin tone. Might want to give that a shot too. Shit, I'm here. Why not? I didn't know you could do that. Right? See how this is, the sales funnel is going? We know our market, know our offers, create awareness, get interest, get a commitment. Small win, give them value, get them in for the actual big consultation, and have a core offer. Right? Once you have the core, you can add add-ons, you can have alternatives, but they have to have something that they're coming in for this consult. And then it goes back to what I'm talking about. Follow up on what you talked about. They might not sign up that day. That's fine. You still have a condition that I need to manage. Whether it's through pharmaceutical options, we're going to have you come back in 6 months, see if it's progressing, if it's stable, if it's not the right time because you do want IPL and it's the middle of summer and you're going on vacation. Let's touch base. Do what you say you're going to do. Follow up. Give them more information. Tell them about the latest technologies. Half the time, they get the information, not ready to pull the trigger, and then they have a flare up or their eyes are red. Someone says something at work. I am over this. I have this. I have your number. I already have the consult. Let's go. That happens. But if you don't have follow up, if you've lost them, if they've forgotten about you, it's done. Right? And then the last thing is once they do say yes, once they go through with it, you need to still re-engage the patient. That's another thing that I lacked. I would go through, do the treatment. All right, come back for your maintenance, X, Y, or Z. No, we're treating a condition. I need you to see you back in at least 6 months to do a tear film and lid evaluation, to look at your ocular surface, to evaluate your meibomian glands, to see if there's anything else going on. If you've made any changes in your lifestyle, in your environment, in your demands, how can I help serve you better going forward? Right? That's the funnel. Again, you can get a lot more technical, but we have a unique, amazing profession where people are already coming in to see us. Are we doing what we need to do to get them the treatment they need, to see the value in what we have to offer. People sell what they believe in. If you don't believe in something, if you're not fully bought in, you're not going to sell it. And that's what you need to do. Whatever you are doing in your office, if you don't fully, firmly believe in it, get it out of there. Move on. Focus on something else, because you can be the best at whatever you do if you go all in, if you commit. That's something that I've been really, really working on, and I've seen a lot of growth. I hope you can see the same amount. We'll have more for you next week. Where has the time gone? We're to the closing thought of the episode, and today I will leave you with this thought. To make your present better, make your future bigger. The bigger your future, the more dialed in you have to be right now. So if you want to chase bigger dreams, bigger goals, you need to do more now, right? So to make your present situation better, you need to aim higher. If you don't like where you're at, you're not shooting for a big enough goal. You're accepting the mediocrity. You're accepting that you are satisfied with where you're at. You're satisfied with just doing a little bit more to get a little bit further ahead. And I know the excuses because I've said them all to myself. I don't have the staff. I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. It's not going to work, X, Y, or Z. But everything that I really honestly want to do in life, I can look around and find at least 1 to 2 people in my small little network of, connections that have already done it. And if you look at them, really there's no difference. They just followed through and did what they said they were going to do. We can do more than our little brains tell us we can do. But you have to commit. You have to go all in. If you get nothing else from me these past few episodes, it's you got to put on the blinders and with laser focus dial in to where you want to go. But you need to know where you want to go. That's what I have. Dr. Lily out.